Antonio Brown faked his vaccination card. This man is going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars when he could have just paid 10,000. He's bad at mathing. OKC 73, new hashtag. We'll tell you why. Brian Kelly has been in Louisiana like 24 hours and he found a way to throw some paprika and filet in his mayonnaise, and now he's got a Cajun accent. And Brittany Renner, PJ Washington's baby mama, goes to visit Jackson State. Deion Sanders brought her there. Question: was she paid to come speak to them, or was she just allowed to hunt on campus? I'm George Wrighster. He's Ralph Amsden, and this is Wrighster or Wrong, the intersection where sports, business, society, and pop culture meet the truth. Absolute fire on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Facts only. Make sure you check your feelings at the door because no BS is allowed. We keep it 100. Make sure that you share the podcast with a friend. Tell a friend about it. Send them a text message, email, whatever. And leave a 5-star rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And also, hit us up. I'm Matt, IMMAD at unafraidshow.com, or shoot us a text message, 818-293-7547. So, Ralph, we will start with Antonio Brown. So, his teammate Mike Edwards, and free agent John Franklin, who used to be with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are ineligible to play the next 3 games because they have been suspended because they used fake vaccine cards. And this came out with Antonio Brown a few weeks ago when his former chef gave receipts that he tried to buy a fake vaccine card. His agent denied it, all this, because he said that the chef said that he owed, that Antonio Brown owed him $10,000. Ralph, how bad is Antonio Brown at math for this situation?
At math? Well, do you think the chef got paid?
No. If all right, there may have been a discrepancy about how much was owed because people do try to price gouge celebrities at times, but the idea though that because this dude probably told Antonio Brown like, yo, or his girlfriend, I'm snitching if he don't pay me. And he was probably like, F him. And that's what happened. So if you're Antonio Brown, how do you not have awareness of your history, of what people think about you, and the fact that you're in the NFL right now by the hairs on your chinny chin chin because you are a great football player and you are just going to keep running in front of the train when you could have just stayed unvaccinated and this would not have been a problem?
Yeah, I would love. I actually would love to hear him talk about what his thought process was, or all of them, really. Like I really want to know because Aaron Rodgers walked us through what he was thinking and why he did what he did, and he got made fun of for his reasons, and he got scolded for some of the protocols he broke in trying to keep it concealed. Um, I'm just maybe I'm a naturally curious person, but I do. I mean, I do want to know
But does it even matter?
how did you? I don't know, man. I'm one of those people that asks my kids every time I catch them doing something wrong. I'm like, play this out how you thought it would go. I just want to know, like, where were you not thinking at all, and were you completely driven by impulse? But what was that immediate impulse? Did you think that like Antonio Brown? Did you think people were going to think less of you? Because I got news about the way that you're viewed, and it's not great.
But that's the point, dude. See, here's the thing is I guarantee some of his teammates are looking at him like this damn liar. Because I don't know
Yeah.
whether Tom Brady, because guys in the locker room had conversations about this stuff. And Antonio Brown wasn't vaccinated, according to the chef, up till like right close to training camp, quote unquote vaccinated. And I've heard about people getting fake vaccine cards. I talked to 2 people, a coach in college and 2 NFL players, about getting fake vaccine cards. And I was like, Do not do it. That is an awful idea. Like there
You
is
had an
no
NBA. Didn't you have an NBA contact too,
yes, bro.
bro?
I was like,
I had
I
a
was
girl
like,
that was
do
broken up
not
with by
do
her
it,
college football boyfriend. I had a girl that was broken up with by her college football boyfriend. She was pissed. She reached out to me and said his vaccine card's fake. And I
bro.
was like, "What do you want me to do with this?" She's like,
Like,
"I'm gonna find somebody who's gonna do something."
bro. See, she could have just put it out herself, but she wanted
Right?
you to do the dirty work. See,
Because she's not done with the relationship. She
so
just
why
wants
would
him to
you
hurt
sabotage your? That's stupid,
because hurt people.
bro. That dude, dude, that is literally like when. Okay, and I know that this is an awful example, right? Right,
It's always good to identify it going in.
but but I just want to point out the conflict that people have. So let's say that you are married to uh married to somebody, right? You
Okay.
are a stay-at-home mom. You guys get in an argument and the guy hits you, right? I'm not talking about serial abuse or anything like that. Like he lost his cool and hit you, right? So now in that moment, do you call the police? Like if you don't feel still threatened in that moment, like you don't think he's trying to kill you, or do you call the police knowing that he's going to get fired from his job or suspended and your money is going to be cut off? Like, and this is a dilemma that people have, right?
Oh,
And,
for sure. It is a Sophie's choice, and I'll tell you right now, we got somebody that's working on anonymously an article for Unafraid Show talking about being in a situation of domestic violence like what you saw with Zach Stacy, and all of the reasons why you wouldn't repeat, like all the things that keep you in that situation because you're tied together. Most people who are in that situation are tied to that person in some way. Your well-being is their well-being,
yeah,
and
so
that's how people who are serial abusers can get away with it.
correct. But that's why I don't understand why the old girl was trying to get you to out him, knowing that that could get him in trouble if she's not done with the relationship. If she were done with
Limit
the
his
relationship,
options.
huh?
Hey, limit his options. He can't. He was in the transfer portal, and I think she wanted him to stick around. And if he didn't have any options of anywhere to go because he wasn't vaccinated, then he's stuck in the hometown with you.
Oh, see, I didn't know that part of the story. Oh, she was trying to box him in a corner. Bro, that's wild. Well, okay,
Yeah.
so Antonio Brown. Bruce Arians said that his status with the team is up in the air. I think he's getting cut because you have because this is and people have tried to compare this um to Aaron Rodgers. They're like, "Oh, they didn't do anything to the white guy." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. There's a big difference. The Green Bay Packers knew Aaron Rodgers wasn't vaccinated. He didn't lie to the team. He lied to the public. That's totally different. Antonio Brown didn't lie to the public until he was caught lying to the team. Like it is like I've told my kids when I was in elementary school, I got my ass whooped, dude, when I lied. So what happened is I was at Mesquite Elementary, and my dad had bought me some tennis balls because we used to play baseball out in the street in my neighborhood. We lost the tennis balls pretty quickly. Like I blasted the balls and we couldn't find them, all of this stuff, right? Now I
Just because
was
you're a young Babe Ruth.
right, and so I was in charge of the shed at school, right? And we have a ton of tennis balls, and like I was in charge because I was responsible, good kid, all of this stuff. Well, I decide, listen, we lost the tennis balls. My dad just bought us some. I can't go ask him for some. I'm gonna swipe a couple tennis balls. Some kind of way. Oh, and then another kid snitched who was gonna play
Hmm.
ball with us, but he snitched. And then they called my dad, and my dad pulled me aside first. He was like, George, he was like, I got your back, of course, but did you steal these tennis balls? I was like, no, Dad, I didn't steal the tennis balls.
Ooh.
And then the
Ooh.
and then he goes in there like, yo, my son said he didn't steal
Oh
these
no.
tennis balls. You better check yourself. Don't be coming at my son like this. He said he didn't steal the tennis balls, so get out of my face, basically. And it was like, sir, these tennis balls have this marking on them, and you can't buy these from stores. You have to order these from like surplus stores or like where we can order them from. And it was like some random saying on them. Bro, I got home, my dad whooped my ass up and down the living room with no furniture in it, bro. That was the worst one, bro, of all time. And he was like, listen, you can lie to anybody else in the world, but not to me, because I got your back. I would have had your back, George. If you had told me the truth, I would have. But now, nah, player. You are an enemy of the state right now, right now. So to make a long story short, Bruce Arians is probably upset. Tom Brady's probably upset, and the other players in the locker room that probably didn't want to get vaccinated. And like, bro, so I think he's done. And if I were an NFL team, I'm done with Antonio Brown, despite him still being good enough to play in the league.
Yeah, he's got a head coach in Bruce Arians who has a bunch of secondary health issues. Like how irresponsible can you be? You gonna lie to Tom Brady who let you live in his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. It doesn't feel good, and I understand the people that are like, we want the same energy that people had for Aaron Rodgers for Antonio Brown. You're never gonna get that. Two different people, two different track records, two different circumstances, two different cities. And yeah, maybe some people are virulent racists, but for the most part, it's completely different situations. And you're right, man. I could tell my kids that their gifts came from Santa Claus, but I can't tell my wife her gift came from Santa Claus,
Yep.
right? Like she's gonna want to
Exactly.
know where the money came from that I bought her the expensive gift. Like she needs to know we're partners in this. And what I worry about, George, is what do you do if you're one of the several NFL players who is also lying about your vaccination status? Now that you know what the penalty is, do you come clean or do you wait to blow for it to blow up in your face? What do you do?
I come
Because
clean, bro.
they weren't the only ones. They were not the only ones. They're
Cor-
not.
Correct. And like that's the thing about it is that there are other people who've done it, and I've actually heard about some that how it's been done, but I'm not a snitch. So I'm going to wait for it to come out and then I will talk about it because listen, there's no way that there's not going to be more people that aren't caught up in this, and the teams are in a tricky position because the NFL, I guarantee, is going to be like, you guys need to check all of these vaccine cards, every single one now. And then they're going to have to figure out, the teams are going to have to figure out how they're going to have to deal with it. So if you see a player who all of a sudden ends up on IR with a hamstring or something, you might want to question it, buddy. You might want to question
For
it.
real. I will tell you this. My vaccine card is the most like low tech, hardest to verify thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
It is straight up a piece of paper with illegible writing and a couple of dates on it. Like you see the length that people go to like forge Super Bowl credentials.
Yeah.
This would be the easiest thing in the world to fake. And so I do wonder if you just have a bunch of like NFL players who didn't get vaccinated and who lied about it, living in a state of complete tension because they don't know if they're going to get caught or called out or anything like that, or if there's somebody in their life that maybe they have to stay on perfect terms with all the time and they're being held hostage, because of the lie that they got themselves into. And that's unfortunate because I think people had a really long time to get educated and then make a decision on whether or not that they were going to do it. And what would have been really nice for NFL players who are not going to get vaccinated is to have Aaron Rodgers, one of the faces of the NFL, the reigning MVP, lead block for you and say, I'm allergic to two of these and I'm not getting the other one. And if he had stood up and he had said that, um, then I think that some of the other people who felt like they needed, even if it was based on completely ridiculous and bad information, which a lot of people not getting vaccinated, like let's be honest, they saw some shit on WhatsApp or whatever, and it stuck with them, right?
Yep.
Like that's the truth. And some people might have legitimate reasons, but they're just afraid to share them because they're afraid of public backlash or being ostracized or whatever. But had Aaron Rodgers come out and lead block for some of these people who don't have any intent on getting vaccinated, it's very possible that some of them would have felt emboldened to come out and
Dude, it
because
didn't
he's
matter.
really in
Like,
a visible position of power.
yeah, but the thing is, like, you were fine if you're at the top of the roster. You were fine not being vaccinated if you didn't want to get vaccinated. But the idea that because if you fake a vaccine card, you have now put yourself in a position where you can be prosecuted legally for
Right.
fake. So that's what made it doubly stupid. So to end this, Ralph, would you hire Antonio Brown in the NFL next season if he's a free agent? Would you, if we have the Ralph Amsden Tigers from, if you're the owner of the Carolina Panthers, are you hiring Antonio Brown? Because mind you, he's still a ball player. Like, the dude is still
Yeah.
really, really good.
You'd have to have some type of mechanism, some type of like action plan. It'd be one of those things where like a kid goes to a last chance school, but they have like a daily checklist of stuff they have to do so they don't get kicked out of that school too.
Bro.
It would
That
have. I mean, it's risky. It's certainly risky, but it's like, man, my job is to win football games. My job isn't to win NFL uh, kindest roster put together of the year.
see
Like,
see, I agree with that, right? But the issue
yeah,
is you can't trust Antonio Brown. He's a bad decision maker. And
that's true. And I don't know if this is completely ridiculously unrealistic, but like, I do believe that if you're trying to bring somebody controversial in, it should ultimately be the call of your team captains. Like,
see,
I'm the
I would
GM, I ultimately make the decisions, but I would bring them into the room with me.
I agree with that, but then like you can't trust Antonio Brown in the offseason with the situation with his kids and their mom. You can't trust him there. You can't trust him to not get a fake vaccine card. You can't trust him to not pay his chef that's going to cause a controversy. You can't trust him. And that's the issue. Like, you can, like, when Mike Vick came back and came out of jail, you could trust Mike Vick. If
Yeah.
and like for instance, when after Ray Rice went through everything, right? If he still had talent like Kareem Hunt did, I would have given him a second chance because after you pay your penance, after you deal with your legalities of it, I'm a second chance kind of guy. But if I can't trust you to make good decisions, then that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, and I understand everybody's going to be different. There's probably some people that are going to be mad, like, oh, you give second chances to abusers and liars and people who endanger people's public health. Yeah, yeah, we're those people. So I don't know what you're going to say. Like, the whole thing about everybody loves second chances, everybody loves a redemption story. My whole timeline was blowing up today with people congratulating Ryan Leaf on like 7-8 years of sobriety. Like, it's what we do. It's what we do as a society. It's what we should do as a society. If people are um, willing to learn from their mistakes, and often it's the people who learn from their mistakes that can provide an example to others on what not to do. And sometimes that's a really powerful thing. But yeah, everything would be a case by case basis with me. There's nobody that I would say that and that's another thing. You bring up Ray Rice, like his fiance would have made that decision. She would have been several meetings with her before ever talking to him. It's not. It's yeah, it's all extremely complicated. But like I don't want people to be like, oh, you would forgive anybody's misdeeds because of their talent. Like, no, that is not necessarily the case you build a mechanism by which everybody can be functional and be held accountable. And then you want to test that mechanism. You want to see if you've built a culture that can actually um, support people functioning at their absolute best.
Yep.
That's what you want. You don't want to just get rid of everybody at the first chance that they might not be representing themselves or your organization perfectly. But that's just me. And if somebody wants to do it a different way, then I will hear them out and completely understand it. But it's all a moot point because nobody's ever going to give me the keys to running an NFL franchise. So
Yep. Yep.
that's that.
All right. I have coined a new hashtag, Ralph. OKC 73.
Man,
What? You're not feeling it?
I am. I am. It's very hard for me to. I'm very tempted to like laugh along with you and have a good time and make fun of this whole situation. But I just came off of 10 years of a team being down 20 after the first quarter. And I feel like
Uh,
it's not funny. And I feel like if
no,
I laugh too hard at this situation that it's gonna come back.
dude, it's hilarious. And for those who don't know, OKC 73 represents the amount of points that the Oklahoma City Thunder lost by last night. Yes, in an NBA game, they lost 79 to 152. Ralph, they lost the first quarter by 15 points, which is not unusual. Like if a team were down 15 points after the first quarter, would you think that an NBA game is over?
Yeah.
No, 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 no. If I'm saying I'm asking you if an NBA team was down 15 points after the first quarter, because it's not uncommon.
No, it's a game of runs.
Yeah,
It's a game of runs. That's totally normal.
yeah,
I have
that's
to
what I'm
convince
saying. It
myself that
is
that's totally
normal.
because that was every day of my life for 10 years.
Yeah, and you can still win that game by double digits. Like that's not in the NBA. That's not uncommon. Even if you're down 20 points at halftime, that's nothing. So
Well, how much different is it than? It's not that different than NFL in that, like, sometimes the team that makes the adjustment actually has the advantage.
yep,
Oh, you exposed all my weaknesses super early. Cool, I'm gonna shore those up and kick your ass.
yep.
And that happens. That happens. That
So
happens in basketball all the time. That's why you see teams go on like a 15-point run, get a timeout called, then they come out and go on a 10-point run. Like that. That's super common.
okay, so they lost the first quarter 16-31. Okay, adjustment time. They lost the second quarter 41-20. So now they're down by what, 36 points at halftime? The game's actually over. They come back in the third quarter, have their best quarter of the game, score 26 points, but they give up 41. And then they lose the fourth quarter by 22 points. So,
Which
Ralph,
should never happen. You should never lose the fourth quarter by 22 points when you're already down 50.
correct, because they took all their players out. And the they didn't lose by 73 to the Warriors. They lost to the Memphis Grizzlies without Ja Morant. So, Ralph, I saved this one for you. I didn't tell you that we were going to talk about this. I just told you we were going to talk about the OKC 73. So now I ask you this, Mr. Ralph Amsden. Which is worse? Which is worse? Oklahoma
Ah,
City losing by 73 points or Ralph's Arizona State Sun Devils losing to Washington State in college basketball and only scoring 29 points in the entire game. So I'll give you the floor, Ralph. Which one is worse?
okay, so it is. I want to say that it's definitely bad to have the worst loss in NBA history. That's terrible, and it will be remembered for a very long time. But the Thunder are supposed to be bad. They're supposed to be bad. So like, it's just a loss. At the end of the day, it's just a loss, right? It doesn't matter all that much. That Arizona State score is 8 points less than they've ever scored in a game ever, ever.
Ever
Like
since
ever.
no 3-point line, no shot clock,
Yeah.
peach baskets.
Yes. Yeah. Like James Naismith would look at that and be like,
Are you sure that
That's
you?
not the game I designed. Yeah. What's this about? He's Canadian, by the way. eh, and the most frustrating thing about that Arizona State loss was one, it happened to Washington State, and Washington State's the same team that put it on them in football. But like Bobby Hurley is in his sixth year.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got a team full of like 4-star transfers, and they chased out of the program Alonzo Verge and Jalen House, who were two very talented guards before the season. Jalen House tweeted like it feels good to finally have the chains off. Um, and he was known as like a defensive specialist. So you're like, oh well, at least it's not going to come back to hurt ASU on the other end of the ball. Jalen House the night before scored 31 by himself for New Mexico. He scored more points than the entire team that he left behind. And Alonzo Verge, on the same night that they only scored 29, he dropped 25 for Nebraska. So it was like bitter pill after bitter pill after bitter pill. I feel like 51-29 is worse. But then again, worst loss in NBA history. That's you're still either way you're talking about history. So
Yeah,
the one that I'm
that
affiliated
team
with
was
stung
supposed to
more.
be bad, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander didn't play, so you expected them to lose, maybe badly. But then Ja Morant wasn't playing, so you're like, it should be a tad bit closer. But 73 points, I would rather, honestly, I would rather lose by 73 in an NBA game because at least I'm being paid, and at least I
What's
can
nice,
set my future up because I'm not going to be playing in the NBA very long.
since you called me out, I'll just say what's nice for college basketball is that it's only 40 minutes instead of 48 minutes. Because if it was 48 minutes, your Oregon Ducks might be losing by 73 every night. You're not laughing because it's true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not even paying attention to basketball yet.
No, no, dude. So first thing is Oregon won their last game and they're 5-3. So just and Oregon
Tell me about
hasn't.
those three
So they lost to Houston by 29 points.
in
Um,
40 minutes.
and they lost to SMC Saint Mary's by 12, and they played BYU. So yeah,
Oh, what happened in that game?
BYU won.
I'm about sick of BYU. How about you?
Yes, if you're a Pac-12 fan, you hate BYU. All right, next thing up. So Brian Kelly, the Notre Dame head coach, well, the former Notre Dame head coach that walked out the door. And if you guys missed last episode, the interview with Joey Harrington talking about what happened and the comparison between Brian Kelly and Bobby Petrino when he was the Atlanta Falcons coach, go back and listen to it. You do not want to miss it. Episode was spectacular. Story was wild. So Brian Kelly walked out the door, and I thought that this was, and then he's got a regular guy, regular normal kind of East Coast accent. He goes to Louisiana, put some filet and some paprika in his mayonnaise, and then here is what you get in 24 hours.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started. And I haven't even won all my games yet.
Kiss of death right there. Kiss of death.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly, to be with you great fans and to be part of what is going to be an incredible ride here at Louisiana State University.
He gave himself the kiss of death. And I haven't even won all my games yet. You're not gonna win all your games, Brian Kelly. Like if Nick Saban can't go undefeated at Alabama every year, you can't do it at LSU. Bro, it felt like it was faker than a $4 bill, bro.
Can you give me your best Brian Kelly just had his first bayonet accent?
His first what?
Bayonet? Is that what they're called? Bro, I'm not from there. I'm not trying to fake anything.
Did you say, dude, a bayonet goes on the end of a Civil War gun?
I'm talking about the pastry. What are they called?
Beignets.
Beignet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm from northern Wyoming. You expect me to know how to pronounce? Come on now,
It's a beignet.
George. Say volume. Say the word volume.
Volume.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What?
You're gonna make fun of me because I can't say what beignet.
Pump up the volume.
Beignet?
Pump up the volume. Okay.
All right. Give me give me your best Chip Kelly voice. Chip Kelly, Brian Kelly.
Oh, I was like,
Chip
okay.
Kelly never would have
No,
in a million years.
no,
Chip Kelly couldn't put any flavor on that.
no.
None.
He was like, and I haven't even won all my games yet. I'm here to tell you this is the LSU Tigers at Louisiana State University. We are going to win. I am excited. This is where I want it to be, people. Bro, I was like, how the hell did he gain this Ed Ogeron impression? He was like, it was like he had auto-tune on the microphone and they had preset the settings and they were like, okay, put a little Louisiana twang on it, but not full Ogeron. We're only gonna give him 15% of Ogeron. The only thing he missed at the end was "Go Tigers." If he
And
had
I do sometimes out here. Just moved to Charlotte, and I do sometimes when the gas station attendant's talking to me because everybody out here talks and talks and talks. They got a lot of time on their hands out here. Every once in a while, when I'm talking back to them, it'll just come out, and I don't mean for it to.
what do you say? Hey y'all.
And I'll be like, y'all have a nice day, and I'll be like, delighted, thank you. Like I don't know where that came from. So I'm not mad at Brian Kelly. He got that. He was around those people all day long. He got that mic. And then did you notice he said "flamily"? I'm here with my family.
Bro, you talk about assimilation. Bro, he was like, hey baby, hey baby, we're going down to Louisiana. So we need to be one of the Cajuns. So let's go have a po' boy and and some king cake and a beignet, and we're good. And we a bayonet. And we gotta stop by and get dude, I feel like that he would look like Idris Elba on the Hot Ones when he tastes his first piece of gumbo. He's like, ooh. Or some spicy jambalaya or some crawfish etouffee. He put some crawfish in his mouth. I'm like, what is this? Baby lobsters?
Hey, I was crying last night at like almost 2 a.m. because someone tweeted a picture of Hank Hill on the toilet, and they captioned it with Brian Kelly after eating gumbo at every home visit.
Facts,
Just
bro.
on the toilet with his head in his hands.
Yep. Facts, bro.
He can be saying some of those Hail Marys he learned at Notre Dame, that's for sure.
Yes. And the last thing up for today, Brittany Renner goes to Jackson State to go speak to the team. Deion Sanders set this up. And if you don't know who Brittany Renner is, Google PJ Washington baby mama, Google PJ Washington ex-girlfriend, any of those things. Yep.
Private browser, then do it. Or just talk to the people in your house and let them know that like your Google history is about to switch up.
And your ads are going to switch up everything. Okay, so Brittany Renner is an Instagram model, I'm air quoting, and she's famous for being with different celebrity men, and she's not ashamed about her sexual escapades. And PJ Washington was a young man from innocent man from Kentucky, and he feels like she groomed him, got married to him, got a baby, and was like, checks, baby, checks. For and now PJ Washington had to take a sabbatical from basketball because his mental health was shaken up by by everything that she put him through. She's on her tour. Like she gets on Instagram and she's like, bro, like it's stepdaddy season. I'm looking for a stepdaddy for this baby. And then she went on some college campus and she goes, and she
Hide your kids.
yes, she said, hide your sons. Dude, if a dude went on a college campus and was like, hide your daughters, bro, he would be flamed. And then Deion Sanders brought her in to talk to his kids, to talk to his players, like, yo, you need to get the real about relationships here, the way you can figure out who love you, who don't love you, and all of this stuff. I thought it was great that Deion did it because he's going to reach part of his team. Some people are going to be like, yeah, I need to stay away from the Brittany Renner types and let me, find a good trustworthy woman. I'm not, because she's not trustworthy. She belongs to the streets. But Ralph, there are some guys in that were sitting there in that auditorium in their team meeting room that was like, man, I can handle Brittany though. I can handle it because I'm that man. I'll put it on her, and I'm not catching feelings, bro. They don't understand. She will get you in a twist so fast, bro. She will put you in a coochie pretzel, and your mind will turn to mush.
Like moths to a flame, man. There was definitely some kids in that room that didn't hear a word. Didn't hear a word. And
how many of them tried to get in her DMs after?
Oh, who knows? Who
Two,
knows?
3.
And I feel this weird urge to defend Brittany Renner, because I live in Charlotte now, and this is where she caught her baby daddy. So
what if she catches you, Ralph?
Regional defense. First of all, I'm not one of those dogs that chases cars. I'm not one of those dogs that chases cars and finds out they don't know what to do with a car once they caught it. The car drives by. If I feel like lifting my head up to watch it drive down the street, I might, but probably not. Cars drive by all the time. I'm not worried about it. I'm not I'm out of that. I don't have the energy for any of that. So I'm good. I would have heard every word she said. I probably would have taken a nap. Like, that's not for me. But I will say, like, it really felt. When I was trying to come up with like a metaphor for it. You and I were talking before the show, and I was like, man, would you let somebody who was an agent that screwed their client out of millions of dollars come in and talk to the team about how not to get screwed out of millions of dollars by a predatory agent? And you said yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. I'm 100% on board with the Scared Straight program. Like that like you bring in a drug addict to show people don't use drugs. You don't have just a preacher tell you who's never done anything like that tell you, "Hey guys, don't do drugs." And
so you want Jason Pierre-Paul teaching fireworks safety classes and so on.
no, I don't want him teaching the class because I don't trust him. But I don't trust him with fireworks. But what I do want him to say is, I do want him to say, listen to these people about fireworks safety, because if you don't, this is what I got.
You want him to say, I'll give you 3 reasons to be safe around fireworks.
Oh my God! You are an asshole.
I'm an asshole. I don't understand. Is this not the topic of conversation?
I thought you were making fun of his fingers.
I was.
Oh my God, too far, Ralph. Oh my God. Wow.
What's he gonna say? Is he gonna show you 3 some other way?
No.
Hold up his
he's not.
toes.
No, but I do agree that you do need to, have people who've been down that path before be the, the honesty brokers. That they need to be the ones to tell you, don't do this because look, if you do this, you can end up like me. But a lot of times
I do
people
like you
won't
want
hear them
people who have
because
been
they
through
think
it.
they're different.
Yeah, I get it. There's a reason people listen to Oprah about diets. Like, you want to see people who have like done. I understand, but I just don't know if bringing Brittany Renner around like people who think they're gonna have money in the future for their athletic
Okay,
prowess is
now here's the question, Ralph. Because when
okay.
people come in to come speak to teams, a lot of times they are paid, right? Like
Yeah,
they get paid, however much, 500,000, 5,000, 10,000, however much it is to come speak to people at corporate events, particularly if they are quote unquote real speaker.
yeah.
So did Brittany Renner get paid or they just allowed her to hunt on campus?
Okay. Well, first of all, some stuff you do pro bono, right? Some stuff you do pro bono because it benefits. Some stuff you do pro bono out of the goodness of your heart. I don't think this was one of those things, and I really don't want to be this person that turns it into one of these things because I am not that person. Wear what you want to wear, be who you want to be. If you got it, flaunt it, whatever. But she didn't come in there looking like it was a business meeting, right? She she came in like it was a photo shoot, and if she did not get paid, this does nothing but elevate whatever it is her brand is. Right. So like there are gonna be benefits to this, just like there was benefits to going on DJ Academics or whatever else she's done. Um, there are gonna be benefits to it. So I don't necessarily think she needed to be paid to do something like this. That being said, if you're gonna bring people in to speak to your college football team, you should pay them. And if you're gonna bring women in to speak to your college football team, definitely our girl Rachel, or there are other options. There are definitely other options.
Yeah, but see, I do think that see, I'm a huge, and I actually think that Rachel Joy Barabo, that her message is the one that we need to be teaching about being kings and honoring yourself, honoring other people, all of those things. But I'm also a fan. I think that there's a place for both. I think that because it's not like Brittany Renner was going in there to try to educate these kids. She was going in there like flaunting who she is, what what she does, and she like, hey yo, if you signing up for this, I'm ready for you. But just know you sign up for this, you get the bull, baby, you get the horns.
I guess so. I guess so. I tell you what, though, if we're gonna be bringing in people for the stuff that like is actually ensnaring kids this age right now, you need to bring in some people who got stuck forever in the portal of purgatory. That's who you need to come speak to your
Yes.
team, and you definitely want to pay them because they don't got anything going on right now.
So if your son, your oldest son, if he comes
Okay.
home with if he if he's like, Dad, I've been talking to Brittany Renner in my DMs.
Oh my god. Yeah, man, he's new to Instagram, and that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
What would you
I
say
what,
if he was
what
like, yeah, and we've been talking on Snapchat?
I'll be like, you're 13, she's going to jail. That'd be the first thing. That'd be the first thing I'd say. But like, if he was of age, and so if he was in a PJ Washington situation and he was 18 and he had somebody who was like near 30 hitting him up, I would really. I mean, that's a situation where you might want somebody like Brittany Renner to come in and talk to him about not getting caught up by people
Exactly.
like Brittany Renner. But I don't know anybody like that. So
Exactly. I do. All right. All right. I mean, dude, I know people from all walks of life, buddy. All walks of life. All right. The very last thing is we're gonna leave you guys with a feel good story. This came from Notre Dame. They just had Brian Kelly walk out the door, and Notre Dame And mind you, none of his assistant coaches went with him. But I digress. We talked about it on the last show. That's a telltale sign. But you know who they did stick around for? The new head coach of Notre Dame.
We're extremely proud of you guys on your focus and your ability to lock in all week long this week, okay? It was awesome to see, awesome to be a part of. It shows who you are, your DNA, your mental toughness, your physical toughness, the way you compete, the way you care about each other. Okay, that's what this team run is going to be about. Competing, getting after it with mental and physical toughness, and being the best in the country at what we do. So we ready to do that? Yes, sir. All right, so what I'm going to do now, okay, because you're a brand new head football coach.
When his team, and we're talking about defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman, who's 35 years old, black man, great recruiter, all of this stuff. And then none of their commits, I don't think, have decommitted yet. That also tells you who they really, really liked. And they're happy with the fact that Marcus Freeman is going to be the head coach. But when you see the way the team responded, how do you think that they're going to go out on the field and play, Ralph?
Oh my God, I'm ready to go.
I was like, sign me up. I got a 15-year-old. He just got 2 offers. Notre Dame, send him an offer. We will commit right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 ACLs on the edge, ready to surrender to this man. I don't care about Notre Dame at all. I don't. Like, I was Catholic as a kid, and I had a bunch of family who were all about it. But like, I don't not like it. There's a lot of people who have a lot of animosity toward Notre Dame. This was my heart grew 3 sizes this day when I saw that. That was I want the Irish to. I mean, I want them to take over. That was exciting.
I am now
rooting to see their excitement.
I am now invested in Notre Dame football. Like I'm not gonna be mad when because there are times I want Notre Dame to
Cincinnati,
lose.
You're not going to be mad when Houston beats Cincinnati tomorrow and Notre Dame gets into the college football playoff
Nope.
Brian Kelly?
Nope, because Marcus Freeman will
shot.
go in there and he will end up with a national championship, and that'll be just like a big FU. Dude, how great would that be? Oh, my God. If Brian Kelly left because he didn't think he could win a national championship and then Marcus Freeman wins a national championship.
Wins it?
Yes.
Oh, that movie will be out. That movie will be out before next season kicks off. And Will Smith will be playing Marcus Freeman.
Dude, I love it. You guys, I hope you guys enjoyed Wrighster or Wrong today. I'm George Wrighster. I almost said it again. He's Ralph Amsden. Peace out. Catch you guys next week.